because burnout and COVID fatigue is totally real.
For me, I've been the basic bee and done everything trendy.
I feel like I've built this thick ass wall for a very long time.
Hi everyone, it's Betty.
Hi, it's Emily. So today Betty and I are filming separate locations, and that's because in BC we have new restrictions that doesn't allow us to socialize outside of our household. But we're still gonna sip our tea and spill the tea with you and doing our part to flatten the curve. Now we know 2020 did not go as we planned, but we still like to be glass half full, so we're going to share with you some of the good things that came out of 2020.
So we're gonna go over some of our favorite kitchen gadgets, some food items that we've liked and enjoyed in 2020, recapping some of our cherished memories during this time, talk about some hobbies and activities that we've dabbled into during the pandemic restrictions, and also recapping and thinking about what we've learned about ourselves during 2020. But before that, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join the fam, and let's get into it. So my favorite kitchen gadget items for this year are my Instant Pot. I've been doing a lot of soups and stews in my Instant Pot. In addition to that, my second favorite item is our gas stove. Even though it's not like the most environmentally friendly, the flavor of the dishes, especially stir fries, have been amazing. So those are my two favorites for this year.
I'm totally jealous of the gas stove that you have, Betty, because I know that it makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
But I do have an Instant Pot and love doing kind of the one pot meals because it saves so much time. But for me, my favorite kitchen gadget is actually my thermometer that I recently bought for my Thanksgiving dinner. So it's the first time I ever cooked like a big bird in its like entirety, and I wanted to make sure that I cooked it thoroughly and not food poison anybody. So that's definitely come in handy during this time, and I'm excited to use it again actually for the Christmas dinner. So this is not exactly a newly discovered food item, but I recently switched from coffee to tea, especially in the mornings, because I find that usually when I have coffee, I get that mid-afternoon crash and I feel quite groggy. By switching to tea, I find that I'm less anxious and I don't crave for caffeine in the mornings, and overall it's really helped me just to get through the day with just tea.
Come over to the tea side. I've always been a tea person. Coffee makes me too, like you said, anxious and wired, and it doesn't allow me to sleep at night. Even though I'm not like fully awake, it just keeps me awake.
And I definitely feel that heart palpitation, especially in the morning. So that was definitely not good for me.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Good change. For me, it's mainly fruits, especially the Asian fruits. I've rediscovered and loved like dragon fruits, persimmons during this time. It's really like crunchy and juicy. And one food item that I discovered, and kind of on a whim and also not planned, were Barrett pears. I wasn't familiar of this type of pear, even though I've heard it's quite common. I thought I was buying a fragrant pear when I bought the Barrett pear. They look very similar. So the Barrett pear is crunchy, not as sweet, but then when it ripens and sits, it's a bit more juicy and a bit less firm. So it's a really nice fruit that I haven't had in a long time. So my most grateful moment for 2020 is my best friend coming back in town to Vancouver. She moved away for work about 5-6 years ago, I think, and I've been trying to persuade her and like weave her back into Vancouver, but she was quite settled there and her career was going great. But I really hope that she does her best here in Vancouver and stays here with me.
So you definitely have different motives, but
oh yeah.
yeah, it's definitely nice to have your best friend back. Yeah, I think the same for me is just being more grateful for the friends and family that I do have around me right now. But also being able to just spend more time with my family and my dog. Because I find that before the whole pandemic thing, with my free time, I would spend it with friends, or just going out to eat or doing things on my own. And just being able to have that time where I guess you're almost kind of like being forced to stay home. But I actually feel like being able to reconnect with my family that way, I feel like our bond is definitely stronger than before. So since the pandemic started, I haven't been going to the gym just because I just didn't feel comfortable going in a confined space. Like, I'm sure they have their own protocols in place, but for me, I just didn't feel comfortable going. And besides kind of staying at home and doing my own home exercises, I did start going to pole dancing because it's a smaller studio. There's less people there. That's what I was comfortable with. But since then, the studio has closed just because restrictions are getting kind of more strict. But I actually recently purchased a pole so I can set up my own home dance studio. So I'm kind of excited about that because to me, pole dancing is really something that builds your confidence, and it's part of strength training and also dancing, and just kind of being able to put together a routine is super rewarding for me.
For me, I've been the basic bee and done everything trendy with like quarantine and self-isolation activities. For instance, like Dalgona coffee, what else? Like tie-dyeing.
Love Dalgona.
Pardon? Yeah. Tie-dyeing. I've made my own kombucha. I've done like hand knitting. Like this is knit by myself with just thicker yarn. And then I've been taking care of my succulents. Yeah, anything I can do by myself. I basically have been filling up all my time due to boredom with activities that I could do by myself.
You've become quite the homebody.
I have, yes.
So some things I learned about myself is definitely how to be resilient through this time. I definitely need to take care of myself first before I can care for other people, because burnout and COVID fatigue is totally real. And just being able to realize what I need to do for self-care and what self-care really looked like for me. And personally, it's really just to spend time on my own and even taking naps, which I never really used to do, because I feel like for me, I'm the type of person that needs to kind of make every minute productive, or feel like I need to be doing something every minute and every second of the day. And another part of that is like realizing what self-actualization is for me, and kind of realizing who I am as a person, and kind of just be able to let my personality out, because I feel like I've built this thick ass wall for a very long time because I really was worried about what other people thought of me, that they might not like me. And a lot of that actually came out when I was going through therapy. And I feel like that's super important too. That's also part of self-care, to talk to somebody about the issues that you're experiencing. And through that, I feel like I definitely let my walls down and being able to kind of let some of my personalities sip through the wall. And also just realizing my passions, because I recently quit my full-time job. It was stable, kind of your Monday to Friday with benefits, free parking, super important, also free meals. But I quit that job because I really felt like I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, and this is not where my passion lies, and this is not where I want to be at this point in life. It's, don't get me wrong, a fantastic job. I love the team, but it was just not right for me at this time. So definitely this has been a big year for me into just realizing who I am as a person. And this is me.
That's like so brave of you, Emily, like quitting your full-time job and just trying to find what you're passionate about. And I really feel like going to therapy or talking to someone that you trust really should be normalized, and learning about yourself and bettering yourselves in different aspects in different ways is always a positive. And so I think other people this year probably have delved into themselves a bit more, and I really encourage everyone to do the same. What I've learned about myself is a bit more patience. Even though I feel like I started off as a quite patient person, just being in this pandemic time and just having so many restrictions put onto you, and probably people would say like some of your freedom taken away, I feel like everyone should take a breather and be a bit more patient with the situation as a whole. As a healthcare worker, Emily and myself, we really encourage people to follow the restrictions, help bend the curve, and make sure everyone is safe. As like adults at our age, we have a better immune system, and so even if we catch the virus, there might not be any issues with us down the road. But for people who are immunocompromised and elderly, such as my grandma, for example, it could be detrimental for them. It could be the last blow. So just thinking about those people in your life and caring for them that way, I feel like we should be a bit more patient with our situation right now. Kind of found that a bit more in myself this year.
And that concludes our wrap up for 2020, and we hope that 2021 will bring us better things.
Comment down below and let Emily and I know what you want us to do next with this social distancing period. Give us some video ideas. We really appreciate it. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the family to see when we upload next. And with that, we'll be back next time. Bye guys.